Hi everyone, it's Lillian here from Stamper's Niche. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And welcome to my regular Monday evening time of Monday night crafting. I don't know what it's like where you are living right now, but today felt almost spring-like. The wind was a little bit cool, but boy, it felt so much nicer than it has for the last little while. We've got hope that spring is arriving and can't wait. Now, tonight, tomorrow morning, whatever, it's a really exciting time in Stampin' Up! World, and that's because the new catalog goes live tomorrow. So many of you have got your new catalog. If you have not, remember, if you live in Canada, I'm glad to supply you with one, so contact me about that. The other thing is that it will be online tomorrow, so if you just can't wait, go to my website tomorrow and just scroll down and you will see the catalog there. So as we're going down to my desk to have a look at the front of the new catalog, amongst other things, tell me one thing that is at the top of your wish list. Well, near the top. Maybe I should just say one of your must-haves from the new catalog. So what is something that you can't wait to get your hands on from the new catalog? I'm seeing a lot of you hopping on, and that's wonderful. I'm just getting the computer set up here. So that's all going well. This is what the new catalog looks like. It's from May 2022 to April 2023. And the good news is almost everything is in stock right now. So there doesn't seem to be a back order issue. They have really tried to order ahead. In fact, I heard today that they've already ordered some things for next year's annual catalog. So that is just crazy in my books to be thinking ahead. So I'm seeing Abigail Rose as at the top of somebody's list. I missed who it was, but who else? What else is on your list? Some of you are on here are demonstrators, and I know you've pre-ordered, so maybe you've got something that you are so glad that you pre-ordered. So let us know what. Now, and remember, if you don't have your catalog tomorrow, as soon as it is May the 3rd, so I'm thinking right after midnight, if you go to my website and then scroll down, you'll see the catalogs at the bottom and you'll be able to see it online. And if you're wanting to place an order, remember, this is a new hostess code, so use that hostess code if your order is less than $200. Charming Sentiments bundle. Oh, good for you, Lynn. There's so much, isn't there? If you are somebody who has a wish list that's a mile long, or even if it's $135 or more, there's something that you need to be aware of. There's a special for the starter kit right now. Now, the starter kit, some people say, oh, the starter kit, I don't want to sell. You don't have to sell. Stampin' Up! Is an amazing company. They let you join with, and if you don't do anything after that, you just join for the discount, they're fine with that. Or if you just join to be a happy stamper and enjoy the 20% off, they're fine with that. Or if you sell to try to turn it into a business, they're fine with that too. There's no penalty. So the starter kit all the time in Canada, you receive $165 worth of product of your choice. They don't choose for you for $135, and there's no shipping and handling and no GST. Then right now, starting tomorrow, they've added on an in color component to it. So there's going to be in color grid paper. Let me just see if I can bring this really close. So it's grid paper, but it has, so there is sweet sorbet on the top, but different sheets have different colors of the in colors. You would also get the 5 ink pads, all 5 of the new in color ink pads. You would get a package of the cardstock in the in colors. So I believe it is 4 of each. of the new In Color. So it's all in the one package. What's the package that's in the catalog. Then you would also get the In Color designer paper. Now, I have used quite a bit of this, but I really, really like the patterns that they've chosen this year. Let's just pull out the Sweet Sorbet so you can see the fronts and backs. I've used that in Facebook Lives a bit, but just in case. So there's two designs. There's the polka dot and the flowers, and then on the back it's the stripes and the sort of plaid. So wonderful. So this is over and above, no extra charge. It is a bonus if you sign up for the starter kit during May, beginning tomorrow. So if you've got a long wish list, to me this is a no-brainer. You can get a lot of what's on your wish list, and then on your next order you can get 20% off. So really something to consider. I'm just saying. So I just wanted to make sure that you know about that. Secondly, the paper pumpkin kit that you can order, you have to order before the 10th of May. It is celebrating the new In Colors. And so there are going to be cards and gift cards and everything. And it's a nice, easy way to get a sampling of some of the new In Color in card format. The ink pad, I believe, is basic gray, but you would again get to see some of that. So something else to think about as you're considering everything. And we've been focusing on the In Colors a bit in the last couple of weeks. And speaking of that, last week we made this card, and I'm so glad that you leave comments, even if it's just a hi, because then you get put in a random draw for what we make tonight. And this is Sharon W. So Sharon, if you can message me with your address, I will pop this in the mail to you. So I finished it off a little bit more afterwards last night. I did the inside, did the envelope. So it's all ready to go to you, Sharon. So pop us me a message and we will go with that. Now I am going to show you something that's in the catalog. So it is called, it's a suite of products. Now I can't show you the catalog inside just yet, but if you have your catalog, you might want to turn to page 90 and 91. And then also put your finger in page 165 because there's some more samples there. This suite of products is called Nature's Prints. Let's start with the bundle first. So the bundle is the stamp set. Now I'm realizing I must be really drawn to leaves and ferns. I seem to be getting a few of those, but I really, really love this and this great splotch. And then I love the fonts because there's the nice mixture of that kind of swishy writing and then the block. And it is just gorgeous. And then there's these great set of dies. So you know me, when I get my dies, I like to run them through and cut them out. So these are all the dies. So there's this gorgeous wreath, and then there are extra branches which you can use as is or even add on to your wreath. There's this shape here which has a stamp that goes with it, and this shape has the stamp, and this shape has the stamp, and this one has the stamp, and then there's this great label as well. So there's tons in here. How many dies are in here? Do you know what I always do? I always write how many dies are there so that I can take attendance kind of when I go to put it away. 11 dies. So just a gorgeous, gorgeous bundle of products. So that's what we're going to play with tonight. But I want to share with you more things that are found in that suite of products. So one of the things found in that suite of products is this embossing folder. It's called the Fern 3D embossing folder. And I don't know if you can see, there's just ferns all over the place. And some actually emboss deeper than others. And they're really, really neat that way. So you can see here, see how some are very deeply embossed and some not so much, so they look like they're layered. And then on the back, well, how did I do that? I meant to show you that at the end. I will show you in a minute. So this was what I was supposed to be showing you. And then it's always impressive to see it in foil like that. And we're going to use this embossing folder tonight as well. So how did I get the color on here? Because isn't that neat? So what I did was I took my embossing folder and I tried to figure out which side felt kind of raised, and just pretend this is open because I need to use this tonight. And if I did this, I have to go wash it. And so we won't do that. But then you just sort of brush your ink pad, and it feels scary to do it at first, but you're just going to brush your ink pad over it. Then you would put your plain paper on this side, close it up, run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then you end up getting this kind of look. And I think that's just stunning. And I've used this technique on a card that I will show you in the show and tell tonight. So we'll keep this out. We'll put this to the side. And there's one more thing, and this is likely the initial star of this suite of products. And this is the designer paper, and I think somebody already mentioned this. Now, it is 12 by 12. What I'm showing you here is not quite 12 by 12 because I cut some off of it, but you'll get the idea. So this is what it looks like on this side. So this is gorgeous. Again, you can see that if you cut this just in card panels, your card is made. And then on the back, we've got this, almost looks like clouds, right? And then there's this gorgeous one like that. And then on the back, we've got gray granite. So who would have thought to put that in there? And then look at this. Now I'm going to bring in the cardstock that they say coordinates. And look at this. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Woohoo! This makes this pop, I think, and they just all look gorgeous together. And of course, this is the new in color called Starry Sky, which is what I'm featuring tonight. This is gray granite, Night of Navy, and Pacific Point. So they all work beautifully with this. So let's keep looking at this paper. And then I always love a stripe. And these almost look like dandelions blowing in the wind. And then, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to bring it up close. There's faint printing or handwriting on here. So there's a font on here, so very faintly, but it's there. And this, I can see this looking gorgeous on a lot of cards, but particularly those vintage cards. And then there's this one here, like that. And this, like that. So gorgeous, 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 in capital letters paper. Now, if you love this paper and you say, well, I wish they had it in other colors, guess what? They do. Let me just bring it in. They don't have all of the designs in other colors, but they picked out what they thought would be the most popular. And so this is the same, right? So they've got it in Shaded Spruce and Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, and Evening Evergreen. So you've got a lot of the same designs. Aren't they gorgeous? So this is also in the catalog, and it is called Pretty Prints. And although they always have all the colors that coordinate here, I like to have it really big, so I always do that. So many of you know that that's my thing. So let's take a look at what we're going to make tonight. So we're going to bring in, it's going to be pretty simple and straightforward because I just wanted to show you some other stuff too. So this is thick basic white. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So let's just fold that right now. So there we've got that one ready to go. And then we have a piece of just regular basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4. Now I brought in some Starry Sky as well. That's the same size because we might decide to use this instead of this. We'll see. So we've got that. Then we've got this piece that's 3 1/4 by 5. And this is what we're going to do some embossing with there. And then we've got some scrap paper. So let's put that to the side and emboss with the embossing folder right now. So let's see, I'm going to bring the camera up just a little bit more because I've got the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. We're going to bring in the 3 1/4 by 5 piece. We're going to bring in that fern embossing folder, and Stampin' Up has this line if you wanted to make things straight, but in here it doesn't really matter because the ferns aren't straight, so I don't worry about it too much. And then what you're going to use, because it's 3D, you take all your different levels off and you're down to just your platform, right? And so it's number 1. Then you've got your embossing folder, and I've been waving it around. I better make sure it's in there again. So I always like to put the fold first and then bring in plate 4. This is the specialty plate, and if you don't have this, this is just wonderful to have, and it doesn't cost much, and it makes such a difference. So when you put that through, let's move that out of the way. We'll be bringing it back again in a bit, but for right now, we have, just like magic, that gorgeous fern. So let me just explain what we're going to do here. So we've got this, and we've got our card base, and then I said we would decide about this. So let me show you. This is my original. So we're going to stamp in the Starry Sky. So that's the in color right here. And we're going to do things. Now, when I made this one, I put a white layer. So I did white, white, white all the way along. So let's see. What do you think? Should we do white, white, white? Let me put this here so you can see where we're aiming. Should I go like that? Or should I put Starry Sky in between this time and just change it up a little bit? What do you think? Just pretend that that is straight. What do you think? White and Starry Sky is the first one I saw. Yes, okay, we'll go with that. It's kind of fun to see it done a little bit differently, right? So this is what we're going to go and do. Now, we're going to bring in Starry Sky. We're going to bring in some paper, and we're going to do some stamping. Now, I already cut out the label from the dies that I showed you. I thought I would save one step, and I absolutely love Hello There. Isn't that a neat font? So let's hope I can stamp in the right spot here. Since I'm doing this on camera, there I've used my grid paper. I use grid paper all the time, or this is my grid, but it's like grid paper, right? Oh, there it is, looking gorgeous. Hurrah, hurrah, that's done. And now we're going to bring in this nice big stamp. And remember, if you're inking up big stamps, I like to do it upside down. Then I can see. Now these ink pads are nice and new, so they're really juicy. There we go. Ooh, and this is a distinctive stamp too. So you've got your light and your dark, and oh, they're just so pretty. And then I'm going to do the fern on here just so I can spread them out a bit on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. These ones would fit in your mini, but the bigger ones would not, and the embossing folder would not. So there we go. So we're going to close this up so we don't, and we're going to bring in the machine again and do a little cutting. So we'll need plate number 1, plate number 2, and then your cutting plates, which mine are really in need of a replacement, but I do tend to keep them until they die. So what did I do with, oh, here they are. I tend to put everything to the side and then I can't find it again. There we go. So I was just thinking today as I was using all these new dies, playing around. Dies have come a long ways. It used to be you had to crank them through 2 or 3 times and they might work and they might not. And if they were intricate, they took forever to poke the pieces out, and now they cut beautifully. The intricate ones, the little pieces come out so easily. They've come a long ways. There we go. So I'm using washi tape to hold everything in place. Breaking news, breaking news. The magnetic plate for this machine is available, apparently. I've heard that it's going to be. It's in the catalog and it's ready. Now the mini is being held up somewhere along the way, but it is going to be coming as well. So for those of you who've been asking about the magnetic plate, good news, it's coming. So let's take these, get that out of the way. There, we've got that. And I can peel that off after. And just poke that out. Get that out of the way. And we can start to assemble this card. Let's bring our sample back in. And our pieces. So we're going to put these 2 together. So we can do that right now. There we go. Let's see there. And then I put it on dimensionals. I think I will again too. So let's do that. There we go. Some of you have been following the story of my husband and the surgery journey, because he was scheduled for surgery, then he got COVID and it got canceled, then he was scheduled for May 16th, then it got postponed till June 13th, and that's all been happening, and we've got word recently that he's back to May 16th, so we'll see, but fingers crossed that that's when he's actually going to have his surgery. So we're going to put those there and this here, and I thought that kind of got a little bit lost there. So I was playing around and I brought in, now again, this is a new die that I think will become a staple in everybody's workshop. This one, I think, has hardly left my desk since I got it. It is called, I better get it correct, Stylish Shapes. So we've got stitched squares, stitched circles, and these stitched banners. And when they cut out, not only is the shape stitched, I don't know if you can see there, but what you cut it out of is also stitched. So if I was making an opening in a card, that opening would be stitched as well. So I just love that. And I thought this just added a little bit. So that was where I'm going with that. I played around with adding ribbon and some of those things, and I thought this maybe just did it. I don't know. So we will go with that. That was my solution. So we're going to go sort of like that. All right, so if that's the case, now that I've figured out my layout, I'm going to glue that down. I'm not gluing the ends down because I kind of like them to be able to curl up a little bit. In fact, I could have curled them, right? And I'll just put a bit of glue here. And like that. And as you can see, I'm just using Starry Sky and Basic White here, but you could use any color that you wanted, right? Any of the in colors, but any color that you have, and create the same card. It's just very, very simple, comes together so nicely. And yet it just has, I don't know, kind of a classy look. Maybe up here. Oh, I'll put it there. There we go. So now all that we're missing are the embellishments. Just going to clear some of this off because I've got lots more stuff coming in. And here we go. It's amazing. I have everything organized before a Facebook Live, and then I misplace it during the Facebook Live. But there we go. So the embellishments come in all of the 5 in colors. As you can see, I've used quite a few. This is the Starry Sky. They also come in ombre colors. So there's the dark, and then they gradually get lighter, and then there's the 2 sizes. So you can have fun. They aren't going to be all uniform in color. So, well, I'm just going to pull one here and put one there. I don't know about you, but I tend to use the little ones more than the big ones. So I'm trying to train myself to have some fun with the big ones too. The bigger dots or embellishments. And there you go. There is our card. Now you can take a look and decide which one do you prefer. Do you prefer with the Starry Sky layer or the Basic White layer? And pardon me, of course, you can always stamp the inside and the envelope too. So those are those 2 cards. Let me know which one is your preference, and I'm going to show you some other cards made with that same suite of product. All right, so in Stamping Time last month, we made this card here, and I really like using the hexagons. So Stamping Time is my stamp club, and anybody can come to my stamp club. So you can do it online, or you can do it in a few, but we're starting to do in person. So I took sort of this idea and turned the card on its side and made it this way and cut out the hexagons like this and used the different greetings from it. And again, used that fern one, and then I just made a slightly narrower border here. And then I embossed with the embossing folder the edge here and the envelope. Karen Yeomans has taught me I can emboss envelopes, and they just make it special when you open the mail. That's all I can say. So again, you could switch these colors out, but I'm sort of stuck on these colors right here. And then here's another one that I was inspired by another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator named Leanne Greff. And she used the designer paper here. Now, I don't know if you can see, but here, this is where I use the embossing folder with the ink. And the ink and the embossing folder created this like that. And then the stamps here, and the splotch I stamped off a couple of times before I used it, but I love that splotch. Well, I love a good splotch anyway. So that's that one there. Did I do something? Yeah, did that one there. This one here. So there's another one. And then I thought, well, I'm neglecting the gray granite. Sue, you love this color so much. So do I. Well, I'm loving the in colors, period, but I am really loving this Starry Sky. So I pulled in the gray granite, and again, I stuck with my embossing folder because it's so pretty. And I used some of the designer paper back here. It might be hard to tell that I did, but I did. And then this wreath and the hello there, and I used the circle from the Stylish, what's that? I should know the name. Oh, I can't, anyway. And then I cut out this little banner here, and tucked it underneath. It's in designer paper, a bit of the coordinating ribbon. And then on the inside, I cut that banner out again and cut it in half and just put it there. And that's how I decorated the inside. And this one I thought up all by myself. So there we go. So those are just some sneak peeks of what's in that new catalog. Remember, if you don't have it, be sure to contact me. Now, before you go running away, I have a few other things to share. Last week I shared about this card and I asked, what stamp set did I use for this? And I think, Sue, I think you got it. It was the Ocean Front. So guess what? This right here, this stamp right here, I inked it up and I just stamped like that to create that. And then the center is this rock right here. I just cut the corner of the rock. So I love it when you can make something totally unexpected and different with a stamp set. And that's how that one was made. And I have a few more things. Oh, yep. Let me just keep looking around here. Here's a little treat holder. It's got a tea bag in it and a chocolate. And look at what's here. I use that stamp set again, but this time I use the Tea Boutique designer paper. So there is that. And just a couple of other things. Showing you this reminds me that we are making cards for the Ukraine, and many of you are donating some, and thank you so much. This is just a few that have come in. We've got lots coming in. So Judy's on here tonight. Judy is organizing this, so we thank you for that. They have to be to me by May 8th, so that's by next Sunday. So a big thank you for getting them in and for your donations. Some of you are saying, what do we write inside? Just say, we're thinking of you, or you're being remembered, or something like that. Just, whoops, a bit of encouragement, and it will be tucked in with things that are going overseas. A couple of other things. The Altogether Suite. Forever, it seemed like these blends were on back order. They are now in stock. Yay, 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 because they're wonderful. So they've extended the Altogether offering until the end of May. It was going to end today, but they've extended it because these were on back order for so long. So you've seen me use the stamps, the dies, the paper, and the blends, so they are now available again. And then last but not least, we can't wait, there's not many more sleeps left. Stamping Staycation. It happens this coming Saturday, so treat yourself. It's a wonderful Mother's Day gift to yourself, right? Or a just because gift, or a gift for a friend of yours, and you can do it together. And come join us, and we can have some stamping fun and get ideas. And if you can only come for part of the day, it works perfectly because it's all online, and those videos are there for you to come back to over and over and over again. So I will put the link in the description after this is over. So I've got you excited about the new catalog, about donating cards to the Ukraine, and about Stamping Staycation. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.